All right, guys, I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to make this video. I know I haven't made one in a while. I've been super busy, but I want to recap what happened so far this week, recap of the day today, some of the trades that I took, um, basically where I entered, where I exited, why I got into the trade. And then I also want to kind of go over a game plan for tomorrow, as tomorrow, if you guys are following the economy, tomorrow we have the FOMC meeting, which is a very, very big event. So expect a lot of volatility coming in tomorrow. So once again, we're looking at ES, my favorite thing, the 6 hour time frame. Now, very, very interesting today. We had a very large sell off right at the end of the day, like on literally the last 15 minutes of the New York session. And then after the market closed at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock for you New Yorkers on ES, if you know how ES works, ES is closed between 2 and 3. So 3 it opens up again, and that opens up as a new day. And then at 2 o'clock is when it actually closes for that day. So usually, like I would say 98% of the time, between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, so between 4 and 5 Eastern Standard Time, the market is very dead, right? ES is very slow. The volume drops significantly once the market closes, right? So once 1 o'clock hits, the market's done. The New York session is over. That last hour that ES is open is usually has way less volume than the hour prior. Not today. Not today. Today it was very much the opposite, and it actually had more volume than the day itself, which was very interesting. So right now on the 6 hour time frame, although it looks bullish, technically this is a bearish setup. So we came off a lower high down here on Sunday, which provided us with a beautiful higher high. Then we had this higher low, and you could consider this your second lower high. And then we had this slight bullish engulfing candle, which created a higher high. And I was expecting, some follow through. I was expecting some follow through, and I was expecting us to potentially hit 49.78, but that did not happen. Instead, we created a higher high, yes, but then we created a massive lower low, breaking past our lower high. Okay, so this provided us with a potential trend change confirmation. Now, currently, the market is respecting the previous higher high very nicely. And if this candle closes like this in the next 30 minutes, I could definitely see a retracement to our previous lower high up here at 49.50 in the overnight session. Definitely, especially how this is looking. So this candle, obviously the one at 9 a.m. that closed at 2 o'clock, was very, very bearish and had a lot of selling pressure. Very unexpected. As you can see, 542,000 sellers in compared to only 11,000 buyers, like dramatically different. Now on the daily time frame, very strangely, the daily time frame looked quite the opposite. The daily time frame is still very bullish. It's holding a very nice structure. And this right here is a tremendous gap down. Like that is just insane. Look, the market closed here on the daily at 49.51, and it literally opened 20 points lower at 49.30, literally 1 hour later. That's crazy. So obviously that gap needs to get filled. On the 6 hour time frame, it shows quite the opposite though. I don't know where that candle disappeared to on the daily, but I do expect some kind of retracement, especially in the overnight session, provided this candle closes like this. Right now, it's respecting our previous higher high very nicely, and the candle is green with a slight wick from above, suggesting some continuation for a retest up here. So that's what I can see happening in the overnight session. Now, tomorrow, obviously, the market has been very, very bullish lately. We've retested all-time highs several times on SPY. I personally do not know which way the market will be headed. It all comes down to what happens during the meeting. And I do believe that the hours leading up to the meeting, the market will be very low volume. There's not going to be much volatility. So I probably won't be doing any trading the entire morning. I'm going to wait for the meeting, and then I will decide what I do after the meeting or during the meeting. But as of right now, I'm probably going to just sit out and wait for the meeting to take place, because most likely the entire market will be doing that as well. And then which direction it decides to take, obviously will be the direction I decide to jump in with. Now, based off all of the sentiment that we've had and how the market has been lately, I personally would expect new highs again, and I would expect us to go higher and potentially test 49.78 on the futures, especially if Jay Powell does decide to put a pause on rate cuts. That is the forecast. The forecast is that there's not going to be an increase or a decrease. It's going to be a pause. If that happens, I don't think it's going to affect the market too much, because people have been expecting that for quite some time now. So that sentiment has already played its role in the market already. Like, people have already been knowing that. And as a result, I don't think it's going to affect the market that much at all if that is what he decides to do. If he decides to do something that the market has not been expecting, or has not planned for, or that is not forecasted, then I could see something very, very, very volatile happen, right? Either a pump or a dump. Like, for example, if he decides to decrease rates and cut rates, that would be crazy, right? That would cause a dramatic impact on the market, because people are not expecting that. But people have been expecting a pause on the interest rates now for quite some time. And as a result, that sentiment has already played itself out in the market. So I don't think that would affect the market too much. But anyways, let's get into the actual day today. So this is SPY. This is the 50-minute time frame. I'm also going to share with you the 1 hour time frame too, because I use both. So on the 1 hour time frame for SPY today, we opened up at right here at 6:30. So let's look at the price action very carefully here. Okay. So we finished off the day on Monday with a higher high. I'm pretty sure that's very clear for everyone watching. Then we started off this morning with a gap down. So a gap down does not mean we're bearish. Okay. That does not mean we're bearish at all. All this was, if you look at the price action very carefully, think of this first green candle as a red candle. The reason why I say that is because technically, if you look at price action and you follow price action the way that I do, technically all this was the market creating a lower high, which in an uptrend is very bullish. That's supposed to happen. That's normal. That's healthy. You need that in order to go for another higher high. So this candle opened up down here, and then it immediately decided to pump and go upwards and close green. So the candle opened up down here, closed up here, continued on, and actually hit my level up here, 49138, which is a 1 hour level. So before the market closed today, I didn't really have that level. The level that I actually had prior to the market closing today was 49127. So once this candle closed, okay, this looked very bullish to me, right? We created a lower high there on the 1 hour time frame. I was expecting mad continuation to the upside. At the very minimum, I knew that we were at least going to retest same highs. Whether or not we were going to go for a higher high was undetermined, right? I didn't know that for sure, but I knew for sure that we would at least retest same highs. So 49127 was the target, and this was the trade and the play that I took. I was very confident in that, and as you can see, we hit that, no problem. So on the 50-minute time frame, I didn't get into this trade on the 1 hour time frame. I used the 15. So the first candle that looked very interesting to me that I really liked, okay. Also, I want to explain the 50-minute time frame as well. So the 50-minute time frame did technically open up with a lower low, but then it proceeded to make a higher high right away. And then this candle down here actually made a lower high. So at this point, I'm bullish, very bullish, because so is the 1 hour, so is the 15, so is the 6 hour, so is the daily. Everything is bullish. So at this point in time, I'm looking at definitely getting into calls. So when this green candle closed at 8 a.m., okay, this was our confirmed lower high. Based on how the 1 hour candle had just closed, I was very happy to see this. We respected our support level many times prior. I got into my trade right at 8 a.m. No hesitation. This was a trade where I was very confident with. I did not have any concern with it going against my bias. I got into the trade directly at 8 a.m. And as mentioned, I did not have this level up here at this time because this level was created post market after we made new highs. So my first target was 491.27. So right here was my first target. So I got into the trade at 8 a.m. and I held it the entire way through, and I sold my entire position right at 4,927. So there was no multiple take profits. There was only one take profit, and it was at 49127. So I exited the full position at 49127. Beautiful trade. Very happy with that. So that was the first trade of the day. Okay. Then very shortly after we hit that target, we started selling off. Now, based on how this candle was looking, it was not looking very good for bulls. It was looking very bearish, because if this candle closes like this, which it did, that's not technically, that is a higher low. That's definitely a higher low. Okay, that's bearish. But then what was very interesting is it failed to break lower in that candle. I was expecting a lower low. If we got a higher low and a lower low, then that would have been a pretty nice setup for a short scalp. We didn't get that though. Instead, what we got is we got it to respect the support level at 49053. It respected it beautifully, okay? And the following 1 hour candle bounced right off of that, creating a same low. So although we got a higher low, which is bearish, instead of getting a lower low after that, which some people may have expected, instead of getting a lower low, we got a same low, which is technically a bullish setup. So that obviously was not good enough for me to just hop into the trade. I needed to see some trend change confirmation and some potential continuation to the upside on some shorter time frames. So in the 50-minute time frame, right around this area is when that candle closed. So I was looking for some kind of trend change confirmation for me to consider getting into this. And we got it right when this candle closed at 11 a.m. or sorry, 11:15. At 11:15, I got into my trade at 11:15. And what I mean by trend change confirmation is obviously the 1 hour at this point is bearish. So is the 15-minute, right? There's your previous lower high. We made a lower low. This is a higher low. I wanted to see something like a lower high or something like that. Well, beautiful. We got a lower high right there, changing the direction of the trend, plus a bullish engulfing candle as well. Not a higher high, but a bullish engulfing. And then sure enough, right at 11:15, we started pumping. Again, my profit target for this, I did not have this level yet at this time. I only had my initial level of 491.27. So my target was 491.27. So I sold my full position at 491.27. And that was my second trade. Very short trade. Nothing special, but that was my second trade. So anyways, guys, I hope that helped out. There wasn't much room to take any kind of exceptional trades today as the volatility was very low. But those are the two trades that I took. They ended up playing out very nicely. They were very slow, but they worked out. But anyways, I'm going to make a video tomorrow kind of assessing what happened with the FOMC meeting and where I believe the market will be headed the remainder of the week. So stay tuned for that and watch my next video because you're definitely going to want to see that one. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you all make tons of money tomorrow. Take care.